The Shadow of Indifference: A Nation's Reckoning. Welcome to a deeper look into a nation's political discourse, where the lines between capability and apathy often blur, leaving the public to ponder the true state of leadership. Today, we delve into a pivotal moment that has cast a long shadow over a prominent political figure, igniting a fervent debate. The phrase echoing through corridors of power, resonating with jarring clarity, is incompetence or indifference. This is not merely a slogan, but a profound question posed to the very fabric of governance. Our focus today is on a situation that has put a significant political leader, Lee Jae-myung, directly in the crosshairs of this critical examination. Lee Jae-myung, often at the epicenter of political debate, has found himself at a crossroads where his political critique has been turned back upon him. It's a fascinating turn of events, highlighting the intricate dance between accusation and reflection in the political arena. Let's first understand the context from which these potent words emerged. Lee Jae-myung has been a vocal critic of the current administration, particularly regarding its economic policies. His criticisms are sharp, direct, and laden with a sense of urgency. He has repeatedly accused the government of exhibiting incompetence, indifference, and ignorance when it comes to the nation's economic well-being. This is not a casual remark, it's a deeply felt conviction he believes is shared by many witnessing the daily struggles of businesses and ordinary citizens. He argues that the government is failing its fundamental role in steering the economy. He points to a palpable sense of crisis among businesses, grappling with myriad challenges. Specific examples cited include the escalating energy crisis, perceived inadequacy of R&D support, and diplomatic missteps he believes complicate the economic landscape for Korean enterprises. These are not minor issues, they are fundamental pillars of a nation's economic stability and growth. But his critique goes deeper. Lee Jae-myung has articulated a more profound concern, stating that a problem more serious than incompetence is indifference. This powerful statement encapsulates his belief that the current administration lacks empathy for its citizens' lives. He contends there's a disconnect, a failure to truly comprehend the hardships faced by the populace. He has, for instance, highlighted soaring prices of fruits ahead of holidays, suggesting the government's understanding of economic difficulties on the ground is severely lacking. This brings us to a compelling irony. The very terms Lee Jae-myung has used to castigate the government incompetence and indifference are now being leveled against him. This is not uncommon in politics. The boomerang effect of criticism can be swift. The question then becomes, what specific events have led to this reversal of critical scrutiny upon Lee Jae-myung himself? While search results primarily focus on Lee Jae-myung's criticisms of the government, the framing of our topic, Lee Jae-myung, hit by a bolt from the blue, incompetence or indifference, suggests a scenario where he is now the recipient of such accusations. This could arise from various situations: a perceived lack of decisive action on a pressing issue, internal party struggles, a misstep in public communication, or a failure to connect with certain segments of the electorate. The absence of specific examples in the provided text regarding why these criticisms are being directed at him allows us to explore the broader implications of such a label. When a leader is accused of indifference, it suggests a fundamental disconnect from the struggles and aspirations of the people they represent. It implies a lack of genuine concern, an emotional distance that can erode trust. Incompetence, on the other hand, speaks to a failure of ability, a lack of skill or knowledge required to effectively govern. Both are damaging accusations, but indifference often cuts deeper, touching upon the moral fabric of leadership. Now, let's consider another fascinating dimension of Lee Jae-myung's public discourse.
Very common.
He has often emphasized the importance of political engagement, frequently quoting the adage, "If you are indifferent to politics, you will be ruled by inferior men." This quote, attributed to Aristotle or Plato, serves as a stark warning about the perils of political apathy. He argues that when citizens disengage from politics, when they cultivate an aversion, it creates a vacuum. This vacuum, he contends, is then readily filled by a select few, granting them disproportionate power. He further advocates for strong communication networks among supporters, stressing the need to counteract what he perceives as biased media narratives. He believes that in the current media landscape, which he views as unfavorable, it is crucial for like-minded individuals to share information, challenge misinformation, and collectively strive to correct inaccuracies. This highlights a strategic effort to empower the citizenry, to arm them with information, and to foster a more informed and engaged public sphere. So, the narrative is multifaceted. Lee Jae-myung criticizes the government for its incompetence and indifference towards the suffering of its people, while simultaneously warning the public about the dangers of their own indifference to politics. And now, the very same criticisms are being redirected at him, creating a complex web of accusations and counter-accusations. This leads us to a profound set of questions that challenge us to reflect on the nature of leadership, responsibility, and civic engagement. In a world increasingly fraught with complex challenges, where accountability is constantly demanded, what truly constitutes incompetence in leadership? Is it merely a lack of skill, Or does it extend to a failure of vision, a refusal to adapt, or perhaps even a deep-seated resistance to change? And what about indifference? Is it a conscious choice, a deliberate turning away from the plight of others? Or can it be an unconscious byproduct of being cloistered in the echelons of power, detached from the lived realities of ordinary citizens? Can a leader truly be indifferent to the suffering of their constituents? Or is it a perception born from a lack of effective communication, a failure to bridge the gap between policy and lived experience? Perhaps the most unsettling question is this: in an era where information is abundant yet often fragmented, where political narratives are fiercely contested, how do we, as citizens, discern the truth? How do we differentiate between genuine concern and performative empathy, between genuine effort and mere rhetoric? What role do we, the public, play in shaping these perceptions, in holding our leaders accountable, and in demanding a standard of governance that transcends both incompetence and indifference? Ultimately, the bolt from the blue that has struck Lee Jae-myung, forcing him to confront these accusations, serves as a powerful reminder for all of us. It is a call to introspect, not just on the actions of our leaders, but on our own roles as active participants in the democratic process. For in the end, the quality of our governance often reflects the depth of our own engagement, or indeed, the extent of our own indifference.